Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chalkboard Chats. My name is Henry. I'm a life coach for teachers. And on this channel, we discuss all things teaching and everything in support of teachers. And today, I wanted to share with you the topics and the dates for the workshops. So I host workshops every other week on Tuesday. I swap it with the teachers mixer on one week. I think they're on the odd weeks. And on the even weeks, I have the workshops or the other way around. Please check. So I have the dates and I have the topics. Now, these workshops are specifically for teachers because I think there is not enough help for teachers to actually deal with this job. The job is so much heavier than anybody thinks it is. It is surprisingly heavy, let's put it that way. And I think that schools are not very supportive. They are very supportive in terms of their own interests. So, yes, they want the teacher to be healthy. Yes, they want the teacher to be stress-free, but it is always directed at what is the benefit for the student and what is the benefit for the school. So there's nobody really in education who is solely there for the teachers, and I am here to change that. So these workshops are specifically geared towards teachers. All the examples that I use come from the classroom. It's what I do and what I know. But if you're not a teacher and you're like, wait a minute, I need to learn how to not stress, you are more than welcome. And you are more than welcome to participate. It is not exclusively for teachers. So just keep that in mind. If you're attending these workshops and you're like, I have no idea what she's talking about, it is all about what happens for us teachers, but it is applicable to anybody else who is experiencing any of these issues that we're going to discuss in these workshops. So I have January and February planned out and have them ready for you. So I wanted to invite you to them. Come join us. These are really cool. On January 16th, which is basically next week, we have Leave Work at Work. So how to enjoy your free time, free of work thoughts, free of work worries, free of anything that you basically don't want to think about. In my free time, when I am enjoying my time with friends and family, I don't want to think about my students. I don't want to worry about anything work. That is my time. So I struggled with this in the past. For me, it was mostly work and then every now and then a little bit of free time. And now I have changed it completely where I can deliberately choose a moment where I'm starting to think of work. And then I am choosing a moment where I stop thinking of work and I'm just completely free. And I wish that for everybody because it is life changing. Now, this is a tool you learn and you can apply it to work. You can apply this to anything. Basically, what we're doing is learning how to compartmentalize. And once you are a master in compartmentalizing, your life is going to change. Like, trust me, it's drastic. So that we're going to do on next week, Tuesday. Then on the 30th, 2 weeks later, we're going to discuss how to let go of stress. This is for anybody who experiences a lot of stress because of their job. You can, of course, apply it to anything that causes you stress. The reason why I find it so important for teachers is because there is no upside to stress. And our jobs are so stressful. We get a lot of stress randomly. I am not stressed about work that I have to do later today, but it is possible that there is like two sentences from a colleague or from my manager, and all of a sudden I'm like, ah. So this workshop focuses not on how to prevent it, because I don't think it's useful to prevent stress. It just pops up. It's just part of life, and the brain thinks it's useful, so let's have it. But what I want to teach you is how to not sit and wallow in stress, because stress, like the first initiate, how do I say it? Like it is a response that is natural to us. I don't think it's useful to hate on natural responses at all. And there must be a function to it. But staying with stress is where we're getting ourselves into trouble. And you can imagine that if you're not in front of students and you experience stress, that is one thing. But if you're not good at letting go of that stress before you walk into the classroom, you take it with you. The students will feel it. They have no idea what it exactly is. But in my personal experience, those are the worst lessons. Because one, I'm stressed, and two, it's like this energy, this awful, I call it like stinky, messy energy, and I bring it into the classroom, and whatever I had planned, shit hits the fan. So it is not useful to bring this into wherever you're going next. What I want to teach you is a very simple, effective way of experiencing it. And then within a couple of minutes, reframing your way out of it. And to let go of stress, it does not mean that your external world needs to change. So it's not that you don't have to do the things that stress you out anymore. You're just thinking differently about it. And you're really, really changing the feeling from stress and anxious and like worked up and to something else. So that will be on January the 30th. Then February 13th, 2 weeks later, we are going to discuss how to thrive despite the job. So many teachers are on and off thinking about quitting, me included. Sometimes I'm like, oh, screw this. I am so sick and tired of this whole industry. Nothing changes. And then I'm just like, I'm out. But I keep coming back to this job and I keep not quitting. In the past, I've changed jobs often. But now I've found a way to thrive despite the manager, despite the classes, despite the materials, despite the parents, despite the students, despite the colleagues. I am all in for it. And what is very important to really recognize is that the quality of your job or how you experience your job has nothing to do with your external world. So to enjoy the job, you don't need a good boss. You don't need great students. You don't need amazing colleagues. You can have the worst of the worst, quote unquote, and still really be joyful and energetic in your job. So that's something that I want to teach for everybody. Look, you can always quit your job. You know, that's for you to decide for yourself. But before you do, if you learn this tool, if you learn this skill on how to separate your external world from your internal world and how to cultivate something on the inside, despite all the, how do you call it? Challenges, diversity, no, adversity. That's the word I'm looking for. For all the adversity that you're facing, you can still have an amazing internal joy and, well, basically thriving. That's why I called it Thrive Despite Your Job. So that is February. And then I am going home. I'm going to visit my family. So at the end of February, I'll take a break, doing the workshops, doing the mixers. I may post some things, I may do some things, but I want to, first, I want to prioritize family and friends first because I haven't been home in a while. The time zones are different, and I don't know how stable the internet is. I'm not going to bring all my equipment. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring my beautiful microphone. So, and the internet with my parents, I mean, I think there's one spot that's really, really good, and the rest of the house is just not great. So I'm not going to plan any workshops. I'm not going to plan anything. If it's spontaneous, then we'll see. I'll test the internet speed, and then I'll be back in March. And I don't have the dates for it yet. I don't have the topics for it yet. So we'll see how January and February go. if there's anything new that shows up, anything that I haven't touched upon, I'll do a workshop around those topics, or I'll have a look at what I did last year and see the most popular topics from that year. So yeah, these are the topics of the workshops that I have. And so on January 16th, January 30th, February 13th, those are the workshops. And then on, let me quickly check. Tonight there's a teachers mixer. January 23rd, there's a teachers mixer. February 6th, there's a teachers mixer. And then the last one before I leave is February 13th, and that's a workshop. So have a look on every Tuesday. I have these workshops. Now, if you're in the East, I've divided this up. I've divided the whole world up into East and West, which East and West makes sense for me, but it's like in the East and in the West. And I am in the East. So if you check a time zone converter, these workshops are 9 p.m. GMT plus 7. That is 9 p.m. GMT plus 7. And I also host them for the West. I quickly have to check my time zone converter. There'll be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're in any of the other time zones, please check them out, because I have 2 editions, East Edition, West Edition. East Edition is Tuesday evening, 9 p.m. GMT plus 7. And then the West Edition is 8 p.m. Tuesday night, Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those are the times. So that is and for the mixer and for the workshops. So please join us there. I'm really, really excited for these topics. After these workshops, I'm also going to upload not the same workshop, because I want all the participants to feel free to share whatever. Not everybody wants to be on YouTube. So I want to record the workshop separately without the audience, and I'll post them later on YouTube. So if you're unable to join, you can still enjoy the process of going through the steps, so that at the end of the workshop, you have a tool that you are ready for anything that happens at work, and you'll be able to leave everything at work. You'll be able to let go of stress really quickly, and to have an amazing internal world despite everything that's happening on the outside. That's my wish for you. All right, that's it what I have for you today. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.